Kingdomino is a digital adaptation of the board game of the same name, and it's for 1 to 4 players to play locally, online, or a mix and match of humans and AI, both, again, online or offline. The beauty of this is that it mixes together luck of the draw with strategy and balancing risk versus reward, and you can see the kind of odds that are out there for you, but it's up to you to make sure you pick the correct strategy and hope you haven't converged on the same strategy as someone else and you're busy vying for the same things. I hadn't played Kingdomino before this digital adaptation, so it was entirely new to me. In Kingdomino, you are trying to build your kingdom, and you have a castle in the centre of the map, and you will then need to fill out either a 5x5 or 7x7 grid with different dominoes. Dominoes pick up 2 spaces, and you'll either be able to put any type of domino as long as it's horizontal or vertical to your castle, and then afterwards you'll need to match different terrain types of dominoes next to each other. And that's because dominoes have 2 squares, but there are 6 different types of environment, such as the water, the forest, the mountains, the harvesting crops, the grasslands, and the coal mines, for example. And all of these are potentially able to score points for you, but they'll only start scoring points when you place them down with crowns alongside them. So if you put down a domino with 2 water and there's 1 crown on it, each one of those squares will score 1 point. But if you put down, say, 3 harvest, but there are 2 crowns in that collection and they all have to be joined together, then that will mean you've got 3 squares times 2 and it gives you 6 points. And so the more crowns you stick into each of your co-joined singular resource area or type of terrain, the more points you're going to get. Alongside this, you'll also have different quests that can be unlocked throughout continuous play in this game, and you can bring 2 of those into the match as well. And these might be ones such as making sure that by the time you've finished, your castle is dead centre in your 5x5 or 7x7 area, or it could be that you've completed a full outline of your entire area and there's no gaps, because if there's nowhere to put a domino in because you haven't got the right resources that are available for you for the turn that you've got, then that tile gets discarded and you won't be able to complete your set, basically. Kingdomino revels in forcing players to adapt to whatever situations you're in, and the reason for that is primarily down to the way how players take their turn and the order of them. The dominoes in the deck are pulled out in groups of 4 and then are sorted from the ones with the most crowns going at the bottom to the ones with no crowns at the top. And that then becomes the player order. The least powerful tile gets to go first, but because they can then see what the next 4 dominoes are being drawn are, they go first and get to pick which ones of the next 4 they then want to choose. So there's strategy here in taking a lesser impactful tile in one turn to get first dibs on what's coming next. And you can look into the draw deck and kind of see what dominoes are still left in there to pull from. And so there's a strategy about risk versus reward. You're never quite sure what the next 4 are definitely going to be. But if you then draw first in, say, if there's nothing there giving you crowns around the type of resource that you're looking for, it's not so bad to try and take a lesser hit so that you can then maybe get leg up for the next one where there's going to be some crowns and you can get first dibs. Going for the most powerful ones doesn't always work because obviously those crowns are going to be spread out across all different types of resource, but also everyone else will have picked the good ones. So it's a real balancing act around this player turn, and I really like the idea behind that. It also works really well in a 2-player game because you'll have someone pick their first tile, then player 2 will pick the second one, player 2 has to pick the third one, and then player 1 picks the fourth. So it tries to constantly balance things out there. Scoring is quite useful because, and this is the beauty of the digital adaptation, is that you can then flip the camera and look at different people's view, but you can also see it from the tiles up across the top, which are colour coded depending on the type of resource and how many crowns have been placed in each square. That can then also help you understand who's going for what and who's prioritising what type of resource. Then you can pick your strategy as you see fit. For the digital adaptation, the AI have got 3 different difficulty classes and are largely quite challenging when you start to put them on hard. And there are different rewards that are given to you for the more times you play the game, both offline against AI, but also with other people, and taking it online as well. And specifically for suiting or clearing certain types of challenges, like not using certain types of resources or scoring points, say like 40 points using the sea or the mountains. And as you do that, you'll then collect currency that you can then translate into dominoes to then place down in this overarching unlockable skill tree, which doesn't necessarily give you new skills, but it adds in more of those quests that you can bring in for bonus points, but also different visual designs of the kingdoms that you're building, different player avatars, and different colours as well. So there's lots of things to unlock through multiple play, and they're all designed around trying to do different things with each of your playthroughs. I have to say, I had great fun playing with Kingdomino, and I quite liked the simplicity of the digital adaptation. It looks low poly and beautiful. I'm always a sucker for that type of aesthetic. I also quite like the online functionality of this as well. You've got the option to just go into an online lobby for a public game and just wait for people to join in a 2 or 4 player game. Or you can arrange private games with room codes, and you'll get given a 5-digit code to then add into the room and then join in. And again, I think Discord will be your friend for this type of thing, because that's when you can arrange matches to take on a certain time. But because Kingdomino is such a quick game to play, whether you're playing 5x5 or 7x7 grids, you're going to be over in 10-15 minutes max. And so these are quick games to churn out, and you can kind of do a good best of 3 or a first of 3 and like not lose an hour. So yeah, this is really good for short, sharp board gaming. Kingdomino is out now.